Hello, people of the internet. My name is Jill Anderson, and I am a professional 3D animator in the VFX industry. And yeah, it's about time that I started to get going with my YouTube channel that I've wanted to start since forever and ever and ever and ever did. Yeah, this is a little bit of a spontaneous thing, and this video is probably going to be pretty crappy, but who cares? It's only going to be my second ever, I think, and so nobody's gonna watch this anyway. Me. Reason why I'm doing this now spontaneously is because I just finished watching Ali Abdaal's video on my top 10 things for aspiring YouTubers. By the way, you should really check him out. He's amazing, amazing content for all kinds of stuff, productivity, etc. I really love watching him. Really good quality videos, amazingly structured, good storyteller, very charismatic and charming and all of that stuff. And I mean, the video basically just ended by saying the #1 tip is just do it. Just get started. Takes quite a bit of time for any YouTube channel to get any traction anyway, obviously. So yeah, your first few videos don't really matter. So I guess this is me taking his advice. Literally just stopped the video and started filming this. All right, let's get going. So I have no script whatsoever, so this is gonna be a bit chaotic, so maybe I'll try and keep it nice and simple and just talk about some basic stuff, I suppose. I'm a 3D animator. I guess we could talk about, okay, what is actually a 3D animator? So what do I do? And specifically in VFX. So nowadays, basically, most content that you will watch, no matter if it's a movie or advertisement or you know, playing games or a TV show or really anything, will have animated content in it, some form of animation in it. So animation is literally everywhere, from the apps on your phone, anything that moves, anything that has any kind of movement in it, whether it's that little, you know, heart button thingy coming up when you press like on Instagram, or you know, even maximizing, minimizing windows anywhere, title cards, texts on like news reels and things, all of that is animated. The more obvious things, of course, are, you know, CG animated films like Disney Pixar stuff. That's obviously animated because it's also called, you know, an animation film, but there's animation in so many places that might be not obvious to you. So animation is a huge deal in today's like media day and age, and an absolutely valid career choice for anybody who's potentially interested in. There's a lot of different varieties of animation, a lot of specializations you can go into, and the type of content that is animated, or the amount of stuff that is animated, just keeps growing and growing and growing. For me personally, I kind of slid in, I mean, I have a bit of a complicated sort of life story how I arrived at my job. Please look at my very first video for an extended explanation of how that happened. I specifically work in visual effects animation for movies, so big blockbuster stuff. I have worked on things like The Greatest Showman, The Nutcracker and the Four Realms, Shazam, X-Men and Dark Phoenix, what else? Call of the Wild, and the last one, which I'm especially hyped about because I'm a huge fan of the franchise, is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which was my first Marvel movie. Yeah, so nowadays animation is a pretty solid career choice because there's so much stuff being produced, and animators are needed everywhere. Good animators are needed everywhere. I have quite a bit of experience by now, and I'm actually also teaching 3D animation and history of animation like online for a local university in Vienna, where I'm currently stationed. Teaching has also always been kind of something I wanted to do, and part of the reason why I wanted to do a YouTube channel that is kind of animation related is to just, I guess, share some of my experiences in the industry, what it's like to work in the industry from my perspective. It's of course, you know, any video you might watch in that about those sort of themes or about the animation industry, etc., will be subjective, right? There is a lot of different types of experiences that one might make while, you know, building your career, etc. And yeah, please do always keep that in mind, that this is just my personal, anything I say here is my personal experience, based on my personal experience and my opinion. So always take it with a grain of salt and do your research, etc. Don't take my word as gospel. You know, I don't know everything. Far from it. But yeah, I mean, I have a pretty cool job. And so I kind of wanted to use this platform to talk about it a little bit. And especially, I mean, there's about 1.5 million different channels that will teach you how to animate, that will teach you, you know, there's a lot of awesome tutorials out there that will step-by-step teach you the methods of animation, whether that be 2D traditional animation like hand-drawn, etc., or in various programs nowadays, you know, with a tablet, etc., or 3D animation, the principles of animation, all of that technical stuff or that skill-related stuff. What I want to focus on more is maybe the aspects that aren't necessarily talked about that much, or I haven't personally found or seen talked about that much. So kind of like a little bit of a peek behind the curtain of what it is really like actively working in the visual effects industry. As an animator, specifically, of course, I cannot speak for other disciplines, artists that work in other disciplines. There's a lot of overlapping things that happen no matter which kind of 3D artist you are, but always keep in mind, of course, that I am an animator specifically, so that's what it's going to be about. Now, I have a lot of varied interests also, so I may here and there drop in a video that is completely animation and visual effects industry unrelated just because I want to. But I mean, you know, I guess you gotta have to deal with that. Me. Yeah, so I guess this video ended up being just kind of like a second introduction type of thing of the potential type of content you're going to hopefully find soon on my channel. And we'll see you next time.